right, let's see what happens this time. Just bear with me a moment. I'm having issues here this morning with Facebook. Well, we may not have comments this morning. Unfortunately, I'm having issues trying to get Oh, hold on. I think we have it. I do believe we have it. All right. Finally. Hello, Carol. Glad you could join me. Sorry for the delay, technical issues. It was just ridiculous. But I can see your comments now. I'd like you to say hello in the comments and please like and share my video. Hey, it's Shel Anderson from Shel's Creative Corner and Shel Anderson Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I blog at shelscreativecorner.blogspot.com and I can be reached anytime by email at andersonshel@gmail.com. I'd like to welcome you here today for Stamp with Shel and Mystery Stamping. We haven't done this for a while and I'm off work today and I thought let's start out our day right and let's do a little bit of mystery stamping. So in the ad that I did for this class, I said that you needed to have a few items. Is there anybody here that's stamping along with me? If you're stamping with me, let me know so that I can go slower. I don't want to go too quickly and have you fall behind. If you're just watching, let me know, and that way I can just stamp along at my own pace. Carol, are you stamping with me? Or are you watching? You are. Okay, good to know. Please, if I get going too quickly, just put in the comments and tell me to slow the heck down. Okay, I have my pieces all cut and ready to go. So in the pieces that we had, we were supposed to have 3 white card bases, standard card bases, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And why I like this one is because you can do a tall card or you can do a horizontal, vertical or horizontal card. Okay, so you can switch it up if you use this base. I mean, you can the other way too, but they're a little more cumbersome in my opinion. And I asked you to get DSP. And this can be from your stash. This can be whatever you want. So these pieces are to be 3 by 4. Now I cut mine in 2 different directions so that I could do one of my cards horizontally and 2 vertically. So you have to watch your patterns. Some papers have no patterns. And it just so happens that the flip side of this paper could be used as well. Okay? And I chose this one because I love the bright, happy colors. And from the DSP, I chose my matte, and I chose the Real Red and the Bermuda Bay. Okay, so I have my 3 mattes and my 3 DSP layers. And then I said that we could get the Tasteful Labels dies. Well, guess who forgot them? Yep, me. I forgot them. And I apologize for that, but it's a good teaching moment because you can substitute. What I was going to teach you was that if you cut if you took half a sheet of cardstock and laid all the Tasteful label dies on it in white, run it through your Big Shot, you're cutting them all. Then if you took one of your matte layer colors, ran them all through, you could cut them all from one half sheet of that as well. And then you could mix and match your pieces to create layered labels. Okay? Well, I forgot mine, so I had to substitute. I've got punches and I've got die pieces from different die sets that I have here, and I just made do with what I've got. And some of you may have to do that as well, and that's perfectly fine. So you needed to have those, and you needed to have some type of an embellishment and a black ink pad and a greeting set. All right, so I went ahead and I did the flip side of this paper already, and I'm going to show you now so that you have an idea what we're doing. Okay, so these are the cards that I made earlier, and I used the black and white side, and you can see that this is a horizontal card, and I have the black matte layer, the black and white DSP. I added a 3/4 inch strip of cardstock. That could be ribbon, that could be thread, that could be nothing. I just thought it at the embossed, I don't know whether you can see that very well. I just thought that the embossed DSP added a little something special to it. And then if you look down through the top, I layered with dimensionals a circle, because I had my circle dies, and this die was from, I can't remember, just a die set that I had here. I just grabbed whatever that I could use for greetings. And then I finished this with the matte black dots. The next card that I made is exactly the same, only I did it vertically. This thanks is from the fabulous Biggest Wish. And the other thanks is from the Beauty of Friendship. The thank you. Okay, so there's that one. And we have one more here. And this one here I layered 3 dies. There's one, the scallop circle, and then the tailored tag punch. And back here I have tailored tag. This was a die and this was a die. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what we're going for. So let's get stamping. So the first thing that we're going to do is score our card bases and fold them and burnish them with the bone folder. That's our first step. Our second step is we are going to put our DSP layers onto our matte layers. Now, as with the other cards, this is just a heads up if you want to do this, I cut some 3/4 strips and I embossed them with the Forever Greenery embossing folder. I just put the 3 strips in at once, and you can see it didn't go the whole way, but that's fine. There's plenty there for us to use. So that's what I did. If you want to use ribbon, do whatever you want. They're your cards. This is just an idea for us to get together and get stamping, and hopefully stamping together encourages you to stamp at home. So I'm just adding Tombow to the back of each of these pieces of DSP, and I am going to attach them down to the matte layers. And this is a fabulous way to get rid of scraps. This would be perfect. We all have that in our scrap bin. all the matte layers on these cards here today. I cut the other ones, but on these cards, why I have two different colors is because I use scraps out of my scrap bin. I had Bermuda Bay and red scraps, so I used them. And you could have easily picked any one of those colors. All right, so we have our card bases and we have our embossed strips. So far so good. Now I am going to pull in some of these pieces and I'm just going to lay them out here. And this is what I did with my other cards. As you see, I have some black pieces left here. I just laid them out on the table and figured a way that I could layer them together to make something pretty. So this is what I've done so far. So if I had this for a greeting, let's try this one. If I had this for a greeting layer, we'll have that pop out the back. But I don't think that's quite enough. So let's go. What would happen if I went this way? Well, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? I could go that way. Or I could pop this. I kind of like this way too. This on there. Oh, I like that. That looks nice. This on there. Okay, I'll go that way. And I'll go that way. And let's see what I can do here. If I went that. Ooh, I had an idea. What would happen if because I could easily bring the red and turquoise together. That's kind of sharp. Look at that one. All right. So I could pop this turquoise one, or Bermuda Bay, I guess, behind there. That's going to work nice. And that's kind of cool. All right, I think that's what I'll do. I may cut this one, but we'll see. So now I'm going to bring in my pad, foam pad. I like to stamp on it when I don't use a Stamparatus. And I think that I am going to, instead of using black, I think I'm going to use colors. I'm going to try to open this ink pad. It seems to be stuck. There we go. And let's see what I'm going to put on this one. I think this is way too big. Oh no, it fits. So let's ink this up. Give it a test. Awesome. And yes, this is an old ink pad, if that's why you see me doing that twisty thing. And right down in the front. That's good. We'll clean that up after. And I'm going to bring these two little guys in here and we'll stamp those with this one. There we have it. All right. Now comes the fun part, putting it all together. All right. So now I have all my pieces. And I hope, Carol, that I'm not going too fast for you. I am. I think I'm going to switch these up too. Awesome. All right. So this piece is going to be glued flat, and I'll tell you why I did not use dimensionals. Because this piece is going to go over top, and it would be too high. So our first DSP layer goes down flat on the front of the card. And next off, we have the embossed strip of DSP or ribbon or nothing or twine, whatever you're using. And bam, that's going to go down like so. And I'm just going to grab my snips and trim off the excess. And try not to get glue everywhere. All right, so I didn't trim that very well. This card is going to become a little bit shorter. There we go. Nobody will notice that little haircut I gave it. All right, so now I'm going to bring in, oops, I guess I didn't glue that together. Let's glue this together. So just a little bit of glue there. And I'll put a dimensional on this. See, we can raise these layers up because we don't have to worry about that embossed piece. And then this guy will go boom right in the middle. And then some dimensionals on the back. And I like to put mine top and bottom, above and below that piece. And we'll just pop that in there like so. Boom. All right. Next victim is this guy. So same thing. We're just going to layer all our pieces together for a greeting. Like so. And isn't it pretty how when we layer these together that it just gives it so much for very little effort, actually. All right, so we'll bring in a card base. And this one is going to be horizontal because of the DSP. And look at that, perfect. So I'm just going to cut some of that off so I don't have quite so much gluey pieces to work with. And then I'm putting a fair bit of adhesive because this is embossed, so we want it to be able to stick. And boom, pop that in place. And just think of all the different, I'm going to use my paper trimmer. I seem to have better luck. just think of all the different variety of cards that we can make using this same simple layout just by changing the cardstock colors and the DSP. Did you hear that noise? That is a crazy woodpecker that is pecking on the roof of our steel gazebo. It's crazy. Does it all the time. Alright, so this one I am going to put the dimensionals this way and just try to center that up as best as I can. Okay, now we're on to our last one. Wonder how I can change this up to make it look a little different. What would happen if I put that in behind? I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to snip this off. We'll never know till we try, so let's do it. If we don't like it, oh well. We won't do it again. I need a little bit here. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to pop this across the front. Alright. So this time I glued that embossed strip behind. This will allow me to pull these dimensionals on the back so that we can pop this up. I'm trying to not put any dimensionals where that embossed strip's going to go, but yet I still want the card supported. So hopefully this will be sufficient. I think it will. I have sticky fingers here. All right, so just trying to get this straight as I can. All right, that looks okay. I'm happy with that. All right, so I had this one. The plan was for this to go across this one. I think I'm going to cut this one in half. And then I'm going to take a chunk out of the middle. See where I'm going here? I don't want a whole bunch showing, but this is the way I'm going to go. Just give it a little something something. So we'll put some adhesive on here and line this up the best we can to center and give it a press. And we'll do the same thing here. And give it a press. All right, so now we get to get all this garbage out of here so we can see what's going on. sticky fingers and paper do not match. All right. And then this guy, bam, right in the middle. Good morning, Susan. Glad you could join us. All right, so now we need a little blinga. So let's see what I can put on here. I'm just going through my stuff to see what I want to put on here. My other card I used black. Ooh. I think I'm going to use some of those wonderful gems. I think that's what I'm going to use. There's lots of options out there that we could use. Just dig through your stash, my friends, see what you have and go with it. I'm sure whatever you choose will be beautiful. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And I don't know whether you can see these or not. They've got little sparkles in the red, so they're very, very pretty. So I'm going to pop one up there. And how about one here? That one looks faded. I don't like that one. Let's try this one. And one down here. Let's try this one on the DSP itself. Oops, one just went flying on me. We'll have to find that one after. I think they kind of get lost a little bit in the DSP. Perhaps I'll use 5 on this card just so that they're a little more noticeable. All right, so there we have our 3 mystery stamping cards. And I'm going to bring in the 3 that I did before using the flip side of this DSP. And they look totally different. Oops. But they're the exact same card, the exact same layout. Everything's exactly the same except for the colors of the mats. And I used the flip side of the DSP. So I hope you enjoyed this mystery stamping. If you are stamping along with me, please email me your cards so that I can post them and show everybody just exactly what you've done based on the blind choices you made for mystery stamping. It's a lot of fun when lots of people participate and send in their cards. So if you're here and you are not stamping with us, the dimensions are in the description below where I advertised this yesterday. Just scroll down and you'll see the sizes for the paper. All right, thanks for joining me. Miss you guys. I really hope we can see each other soon. Bye-bye for now.